Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Fuego here.
Continuing our reviews of the Child's Play series with Child's Play 3. Right here.
Yeah.
We got our new boy for the set.
Right. All
got our new
official
boy for
and
the
everything.
set.
Long time no see, pal.
Yeah. So he'll be sitting in with us on this review. So, Fuego, let's get into this. We both really loved, well, I loved 1 and 2. You enjoyed them, it seems like, more this time around than you had in the past.
I did, and this is my first time actually watching these films, and like they're not, syndicated for TV variety, and seeing, and I mean, hearing the profanity, seeing the kills in the slight gruesome fashion when we actually do get to see them. But 3 was the one that I really hated on the most because of the fact that I wasn't so into the military aspect of it, and the fact that the age jump and all these different things. But I must admit, I have a newfound appreciation for Child's Play 3 after this watch, especially the look that we get with the end with this crazy little bastard. So yeah,
my overall thoughts are, excuse me, Chucky, sorry,
he just won't stop talking.
So I absolutely love this installment. I think I tend to go back and forth between which one I like more, 1 or 2. I used to like 2 more, but 1 is just such a good, clean, great 80s horror movie that, I don't know, it's tough for me now. But Child's Play 3, some people think is a deficient sequel in the franchise. I completely disagree. I think 1, 2, and 3 are the absolute best of the entire franchise, and including better than Bride of Chucky, especially upon a rewatch of everything.
Yeah, the rewatch of Bride, it's so funny because I was even telling him off camera, just the other day before we filmed this, I was like, okay, I used to really hate on 3, and then I used to really love on Bride, and the two have flip-flopped as far as like just personal opinion goes. I think Bride is very flawed, and 3 just has very strong performances from some of these teenage leads that we have in this, and it's not super gory, but it has a fantastic climax, and it has just, good performances and great additional just world building, I think, especially with the reconstruction of him at the very beginning, more stuff with the toy makers.
Outstanding opening credit sequence.
Yes, very, very good. Maybe the best of the first 3 films, I must admit.
Yeah.
With just the blood going into all of the other...
Well, swirling into the plastic, but...
It's gross looking,
ending, not only that, but forming eventually melting into the head of a new Chucky doll that then screams at the camera.
Yeah.
And Brad Dourif's scream in the Child's Play series has always been one of my absolute favorite things, especially at the end of 2 when he tries and fails to swap bodies, and he like his nose starts to bleed on Andy's face, and he's like, Rah! And it's that same kind of scream that they use after the opening credits, and I absolutely, it just sets a tone. And it's like, oh, the factory is now, closed down and cobwebby, so it's many years later. But Chucky is still bleeding fresh blood when the clamp picks him up and, drags him across the floor. And so, it turns out that the Good Guy Doll Factory is being reopened by the Play Pals people. And I think it's the Play Pals people. And they are reigniting the whole assembly line with the production of the first doll, which is presented to the higher up of the company. Yeah. So I mean, we'll get into the story and everything, or we'll get our opinions on the story, but let's get through it real quick. So the Chucky is the first one off the assembly line, and he immediately starts wreaking havoc, and he finds out very rapidly via a very old internet system.
I was about to say, especially because this is early. This is like 91 or 92.
I don't think it was internet. I think it was just files that the company guy had on his computer.
Which was probably because of the sheer fact that they were keeping tabs on him, because it was him and his family that caused them so much trouble.
Right.
When he went into foster care and everything else, since he was the one who made these accusations, and they discontinued the line because of what this kid said, and now they're trying to bring it back, and
it's all Andy Barclay's fault. But it is supposed to be like 8 or 10 years after the fact.
Which is the weird thing, because only a year or so had
passed
transpired in like real time,
which is why they recast Andy with someone new.
Yeah, and the kid was great, so we'll get into that with acting, obviously.
Exactly. But... So basically Chucky tracks down Andy, and it turns out Andy has been sent off to a military academy, Kent Academy, and Chucky tracks him down and tries to continue his game of hide the soul, and that's
But
the
with
long and
somebody
short of the
new.
story. Yes, because we are introduced to a new character, a young boy named Tyler, who is the sort of errand boy, the young errand boy of Kent Academy, as we see him represented. And
He has a father in the service as well.
indeed,
He
but
misses massively.
he's largely a loner. Oh, Chucky fell.
Yeah.
He's largely a loner on campus, and so
Knew he had a mind
when
of his own.
the Chucky doll appears, he can't help himself, and he ends up taking Chucky to kind of play with on his own.
Even though he's supposed to take him to Andy, that's who he was sent to,
And so Chucky pops out and realizes pretty quickly that, oh, he's got a new body, so he doesn't have to try and get into Andy. So he tells Tyler immediately that he is Charles Lee Ray.
which is something this little guy says actually.
Yeah, exactly.
We can actually get him to do it.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end.
Mm.
Heidi ho.
That's just his cover.
Sorry, kid, you got me. I'm bad.
And then
So, what's your name, kid?
yeah,
So he
now
asks
we're getting
Tyler
to
that.
it.
I'm
Yep.
new and improved. My real name is Charles Lee Ray.
And that's
There
what
we
he
go.
says to Tyler.
So that's
yeah.
what he says to Tyler, revealing
Reveals.
his identity and thus making sure.
Yeah, and that's where he makes his first little reacquaintance with little Barkley boy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So he is unable to transfer into the soul of the kid before being interrupted, and he runs afoul of Andy, and so now Andy knows what Chucky's plan is and is trying to protect Tyler basically for the remainder of the movie, while all kinds of stuff is going on at the military academy around him
Yeah.
via Chucky.
Yeah, Andy has a little love interest thing going down.
De
which is
Silva!
also, yeah. Who, honestly, I must say, she's like an equivalent babe of the one in Chucky 2.
Kyle.
If not, Kyle. If not a little more so. I don't know. This chick had a little bit more, like, kind of snark and snazz to her, and was, like, a little more, like, honed and capable. I mean, she's the one showing Andy, like, how to shoot when they're in, the range and everything. And, yeah, there's, like, a surprisingly very decent supporting cast in this. And even the asshole, like, kind of harping on whatever type guy who is going to be in this sort of military
Colonel Sheldon?
school. Yeah, well,
Colonel
not
Shelton.
well, and then the assistant, whatever guy. I mean, the kid who was his age, more or less.
Yeah, Colonel Shelton.
Okay, that was his name.
yeah.
Okay, well, I don't remember these names since I didn't.
And Whitehurst was the nerdy guy that was the friend supporting character. Like, I
who has
agree. I
such a-
think
who has such a good moment, man,
Yeah.
and such a.
I really liked the entire cast of this movie.
Yeah.
I thought the story was strong enough too. Like, Chucky is wreaking havoc in a completely new place that's not just after a little kid, and I liked it because they had to get a little bit creative because he was hunting adults now, and one, sort of a little bit older adult, and how that plays out. And like, I just liked what they did with it. I thought it was a creative direction to take after the first two movies.
It was drastically different, and I mean, I can see why, as a young kid growing up in, of the borderline militaristic religious family who had getting buzz cuts and all this other stuff when I was a kid, maybe that had me averse to some of what was going on here. But upon this rewatch specifically and seeing it in its proper, uncut, untainted form, I thought it was solid, man. It was good, and it was something different, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, and I thought it was, well done different, not just like annoying different, like Bride and, and all that stuff. Yeah,
and Seed, which is actually so different that it's actually more tolerable in my estimation.
Yeah, you're wrong about that. So we'll get to all that eventually, but yeah, finishing out with number 3, the acting again. I just enjoyed it all. I thought everyone played their role well, and
You were telling me, kid who played the new Andy Barkley was on what, Sliders?
I don't know if that's the case or not, but okay. Hang on, let's take a break. All right, you good?
What happened?
The light fell over. It didn't shatter, though. I think she caught it, so... All right, we're going to continue here.
All right.
I don't know. I might have gotten that wrong. I might be confusing him with Rebecca Romaine's husband. I thought maybe Jerry O'Connell was the one on Sliders.
Jerry O'Connell is on Sliders.
Yeah, so it's not him then. It's another kid that's been in other stuff. I just can't think of it. But it was just an interesting cast selection, but they all were very strong. So
I have to say, the kid who played the nerdy friend who gets picked on and who has that one moment which is really pivotal, I've seen him in other things, man, especially in the early to
Do you know what?
to mid 90s. No, I don't,
Okay.
unfortunately. But
Good thing to bring up then.
well, I mean, as far as a familiar face goes, I mean, just like you said with Andy, and
yeah.
him just having that
No,
look
I
about
agree, and of course we have to mention that Brad Dourif is knocking it out of the park again as Chucky, because geez, he's so phenomenal and one of the best personalities in horror in my estimation.
Yeah.
So all the casting was great in this one. Now let's talk about the effects. Again, great practical effects, and I think you mentioned to me a day or two ago, and I totally agree with you that the facial effects, the facial expression and animations on Chucky were stepped up even again from Child's Play 2, which was already a huge step from Child's Play 1.
And dude, after watching Seed and Bride, I feel like 3 is the best of this entire series as far as just the expressive, just scare factor of him and just looking very lifelike. And I mean, it gets cheesy in Bride and Seed, which was deliberate and intentional, but I still don't even think they put the same amount of money. I feel like 3 was where they were really hitting their stride and just hit kind of their little pinnacle of sorts as far as, okay, this is a popular franchise. We've done 3 movies in like 4 years. And yeah, it was very obvious. Just the sinister expressions felt so legit in this third one, much more so than either of the
And the glee when he's switching out the paintballs for bullets and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly. When they're doing their whole military.
I forgot. My
games,
Child's Play 1 knife is right there.
Yeah, that's right.
So Child's Play 3 is phenomenal, you guys. I mean, the music is great too. Like, I really liked it. The barber is a great guy, great death. Like, there's so many good kills in this. The trash man,
Trash Man is actually one of the most grisly in the entire series, I'd say. Yeah.
With the sound effects too, the snippity snap and everything.
And the fact that they all run and discover him and everything, and the way that Chucky is just like, help, I'm trapped, yo, I'm trapped,
please, mister, please.
Yeah,
it sounds desperate.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
I loved it. I think this movie's great, honestly. I think it's not as good as 1 or 2, but if 1 and 2 are like an 8 and a 9, or a 9 and an 8, then this is definitely a 7 and 7.5. Yeah, exactly.
No,
so I really like this movie, and it's unfortunately the last pit stop in good Chuckyville, in my opinion. So
yeah, I'll actually give you that. Upon the rewatches,
Curse is still
the
fun.
The series takes a very different turn.
Curse is still fun, but Cult is a big leap. But although I will say this time around I liked it more, so I'm glad we're doing a revisited review. So why don't we call this one here? That's going to do it for our thoughts on Child's Play 3,
I'm
you
on
guys.
the side of this movie now.
Yes, I love that, honestly. I'm glad that you've enjoyed it this time around.
It's
Chucky's
really fun.
phenomenal, and those first 3
really
are
fun.
so brilliant.
Yeah.
They just really are. I mean, you could put Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 up against the top 3 movies of any other horror franchise, and they would still stand neck and neck. Like Nightmare 1, Nightmare 3, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I would say 1, 3, and Wes Craven.
Oh, I love 4.
Yeah, I know, but you're in the minority on that. You love 4 because of the waterbed tits.
Great, dude.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for our review of this one. So let us know in the comments down below, what do you think of Child's Play 3? Do you like it as much as I do, or do you feel like I have a bit of nostalgia glasses on? Again, we just rewatched this, and I enjoyed it just as much.
Like I did.
I enjoy, especially the big set piece at the end in the big haunted area in the amusement park.
Dude, where they're climbing on the whole the mountain of skulls and everything.
It's dope. It was so cool. Absolutely. So this movie's phenomenal. I don't care what you say. If you don't like it, you're wrong. So
it's really good.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button and subscribe if you want to see more like it. If you want to become a patron and actually request movies for us to review, that link is down in the description box, along with links to our merch, which I'm not wearing any right now, but we do have some cool Chucky merch.
City of Ashes is a really good band, though.
So thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias, Fuego.
And remember, stay scared.